I think. See here. Is it okay? I believe we are live. It's on the, we on the stream there? Looks like we are. Cool. Is it okay? I believe we are live. We on the stream there? I'm hearing it. Looks like we are. Where am I? It's picking up on your mic. I think Untraceable or your speakers, or is that me?
No, it's not me. I don't think so. I can mute.
Nope, that was me. That was totally me. All right, hey guys, welcome back to the OP's live stream. We are going to be talking about the Secret Network today with Untraceable. And before we do that, just a little intro. I'm Matt. I'm joined by my co-founder Chill at the Open Economy Initiative. And we are, on a mission to promote crypto commerce through education with them. And we've been producing a lot of content, doing like things like Monero news and like privacy focused kind of tutorials on how to set up some open source software. So please feel free to check those out on the channel. Let us know what you think. We're always trying to improve what we're doing. But yeah, that's kind of what we've done. What we're doing today is talking about the Secret Network, and we've got Untraceable with us who has been using it. We want to pick his brain a little bit, see what his experience has been like, and definitely answer some questions from you all in the chat. So if you're curious about anything or you have an opinion on something we're saying, pop it in the chat there. We'll do our best to respond to everything. And yeah, Chill, I'll turn it over to you. Who's Untraceable? Tell us who he is.
Well, he's a very active member of the Monero community. He's been creating lots of different creative Monero marketing materials. So he's kind of the marketing branch, or the decentralized marketing branch. And he's been a Monero friend for quite some time, and he always has some insightful knowledge about different protocols. So I saw his post about Secret Network, and we wanted to kind of pick your brain and learn a little bit more.
Hi, and thanks for having me, Matt and Chill. I really respect what you guys do with your channel. I have a big backlog of videos that I need to watch, actually. Like, you guys have like custom modem firmware and like some stuff I haven't even like dove into yet. And yeah, great channel, guys.
Cool, awesome, thank you, appreciate that. But yeah, okay, so I think we're just gonna hop right into it here. I thought I would first just kind of read a little bit of the about us on the Secret Network page here, and in their own words. So what is the Secret Network? According to their website, the Secret Network is the first blockchain with data privacy by default, allowing you to build and use applications that are both permissionless and privacy preserving. This unique functionality protects users, secures applications, and unlocks hundreds of never before possible use cases for Web3. Also, the Secret Network is built as a decentralized network of computers known as secret nodes, utilizing trusted execution environments, TEEs, to enable secure private computation over encrypted data. These TEEs function like a black box basically for data processing and are utilized in all types of everyday platforms such as smartphones and video game consoles. Users, since the data is encrypted and private by default, Secret Network users also have viewing keys to view their sensitive data. Viewing keys can be shared with third parties like auditors, wallets, and explorers. This allows users to maintain control over their data, decide what is shared and with whom. So yeah, I mean, all of that sounds really awesome. And I know I saw something on like that Quentin Tarantino is releasing like Secret Network
Oh yeah,
as well. I was like, oh wow, so he like partnered with them to release these like NFT around Pulp Fiction or something. It's like a like something that nobody's seen before, and because it's on the Secret Network, there's the data that only the owner of the NFT can see. So it's a little bit different than like the Ethereum NFTs where it's just like a JPEG that you can copy and like remint. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But I think well, you know what, we should probably just start with your experience, and then we can maybe talk about the trusted execution environment. So Chill, I don't know, why don't I turn it over to you, and you can take it for now.
Yeah, so there has been a 45% increase of the Monero that's been locked on the Secret network, and I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about his experience and your thoughts, and where do you see this growing in the future?
Okay, well, first off, we picked a tricky time to do this talk because well, actually, no, it's fine. The Secret Network is undergoing an upgrade. They're calling the Supernova migration. So I can't go in and look at the Secret Monero Bridge itself, actually, but I found the stats somewhere else. So it's actually like 14,000 Monero locked in it at the moment. So it's still going up. I think it was like 13,000 something when I tweeted out that those stats. And in terms of my experience or what I think about Secret is, well, first off, it's like an Ethereum, which I actually feel like is usable, that I can use, because so much of the crypto market, the projects are just sleeping on privacy and don't really realize just how important it is. Because there will be like I had bought some NFTs on Ethereum, and I'm wishing that I could show it off and brag, but I can't without revealing like my wallet balance and everything else that I've ever done on Ethereum. So it's yeah, it's actually pretty great, but there is of course a lot of differences in Ethereum and Secret and just a lot of other chains like security and just how it works. You know, there's a lot of intricacies and there's drawbacks, there's pros. Obviously, the privacy is a pro. So. Your question wasn't like my experience, what in regards to the bridge itself to start? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, the experience with the bridge, you know, the whole process, and what are your thoughts on, like, was it easy? Was it, you know, user-friendly experience? Do you see this growing?
Yeah, if you could take us through like bridging it over to Secret, I'd be very interested in that too.
Okay, yeah, well, like I said, the bridge itself is down because the network is being upgraded right now, but it was pretty simple actually. So you, on the website, you go and you hit deposit, and it'll give you a QR code and Monero address. So you send your coins there, and then you have 3 fields where you have to fill in the transaction ID, the Monero transaction ID, the Monero transaction, the secret key, and what was it? Oh, and then your secret address where the wrapped Monero will be sent to. And the weird thing that throws off a lot of people is that after you do that, it wants you to send an email. And it is a weird process, and they actually do have an FAQ where they kind of go through their reasoning. Why do they need to do it this way? And the website is down now, so I can't actually read it out, but I think I tweeted it. I tweeted a screenshot of it, so maybe I can find it again. But so yeah,
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if you wanted to share your screen, you're more than welcome to.
I don't know, maybe not. I'm a little bit scared of sharing screens. Fair
enough. No worries. Don't worry about it.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to. But yeah, so once you send that email, they have like some copy paste that you have to include in the email that has like some encrypted data, or I don't know actually what it is, but it looks like a bunch of random numbers and letters. So after you send that in, I don't think it's a person manually checking the email. I do believe it's automated. So after 10 confirmations of your Monero transactions, so that would be 20 minutes, then it mints the wrapped Monero to your secret wallet address, and then that's it. So yeah, in 20 from 20 minutes, you can go from Monero to wrapped Monero. And I have heard of some people having some troubles with it. But I don't know like what percentage of people have experienced that. I don't believe any funds have been lost. So there's no way for me to verify that, of course. So
I heard some people use the Y2P for the email address, like sending it through. And I also see Stacking Monero just commented, Supernova, our first major mainnet upgrade since secret contracts, is officially live. So, woohoo.
Wait, can you read that again?
So Stacking Monero just dropped a comment in the chat that from Twitter, the news just came out, Supernova, our first major mainnet upgrade since secret contracts, is officially live. So that just happened.
The website came back up while we're on the stream.
Let me see. Let me try.
And actually, Untraceable. Sorry, if you could move your mic just a little bit further from your mouth, it was getting a little. It was like overblowing the mic just a little bit.
Okay. How's that? Is that any better?
That is perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So the Secret Monero Bridge site still says that they're waiting on Kepler to solve an upgrade issue. Kepler is like the MetaMask of Secret Network.
Okay, gotcha. So that probably, so it looks like their mainnet's up, but the interface, one of the interfaces with it is not working. So it's still effectively not up. Okay. Well, 20 minutes to wrap your Monero is not bad. I think that's, you know, especially for the trade-offs that you're getting access to the whole secret ecosystem. I mean, that to me seems pretty reasonable. The email thing, yeah, that's a little weird. And what was the recommendation you said, Chill? What were people using? What, can you tell me a little more about that? The why? I didn't know. That's the first time I've heard you say that.
It's like Tor Network. It's like a little bit faster than Tor Network.
Oh, so sending the email through that, not using that to send the email, that service to send the email.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. The secret email address that you interact with, they also say is on the uses the I2P network. So there is definitely also a privacy concern in sending emails, because emails aren't notoriously secure or private, but that's up to the user, of course. So you use like encrypted email, and you make sure to protect your IP address, use Tor, VPN, whatever. So yeah, it all depends on the user to make sure you are protecting your privacy. If you truly want the whole bridging process to be private as well, which I imagine many Monero users would like to. So
gotcha.
So I was rather skeptical when I first heard about the Monero bridge, because I thought, well, who would lock their Monero? Like, who would trust?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing: the bridge is not trustless, but it is permissionless. So you are still trusting. The website again isn't up, so I can't see their FAQs have the details of how the bridge is set up. So I do remember they said that they use a multi-sig address where the Monero is held, and they have some nodes that do the I believe check for when transactions come in, and they reach a consensus, and then it mints the wrapped XMR. But you are still trusting the operators of that bridge the ones who hold the multi-signature keys. So it is not trustless. You are trusting people. There have been exploits in the past, and you just have to make sure that the risks are worth it to you to be able to transfer Monero to this other platform. So the guarantees that you have on that you have on Monero network, it's completely safe on the Monero network. It's been since Monero has been released. There have been no exploits. So you're losing that safety guarantee. You're giving your Monero to someone else in order to be able to use it in other ways that you can't on the Monero network. So in DeFi and staking it or trading it on decentralized exchanges on the Secret network. So it's really just up to every individual user of whether the risks are worth it. So just be mindful of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's a great point. And yeah, there's always some additional risk when you're, even just moving it to a new blockchain. I mean, that it sounds kind of simple, but there's a lot of gotchas that can happen in that process that you might not see or might not be aware of. And so, yeah, just be careful. And I think the one other thing, so I was reading more about this Tarantino NFT thing, and it says that they're selling them on OpenSea, which to my knowledge is just a purely Ethereum based marketplace. So is there, like, I know obviously there's the bridge with Monero. Does the Secret Network have bridges to other blockchains as well?
Yes, actually, there's bridges to Binance Chain, I believe, to Ethereum. They are working on a trustless Bitcoin bridge, I believe. No idea when that's the ETA on that. I think there's even a separate team working on another Monero bridge, but I'm not sure on that. But I believe I saw. So there's a SecretSwap is one of the decentralized or AMMs on Secret Network, and then there's another called Sienna Swap, and I think I saw somewhere that they said that they would have their own Monero bridge. So it'd be a little probably a different implementation to the current one. So the process might be different. Maybe there's no email required. I don't know.
Gotcha. That answered my question there. See, somebody in the chat, or Stacking Monero said in the chat, there's also an ERC 721 to SNIP, which I'm assuming is a Secret Network version of that NFT bridge coming soon. So I guess you'll be able to swap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess I wonder, I mean, I guess there would be a privacy benefit there, because then you would be off of Ethereum and on the Secret Network, where they wouldn't really be able to see your transaction history and things like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what benefits you get, but that seems like it would be a good thing.
So just to talk a little bit about how the privacy on Secret Network works. So the secret token itself, SCRT, is actually completely transparent. It's like Bitcoin. You can see where it moves to what address, which wallet. There's a rich list for the Secret Network, so you can see who owns the most secret tokens. Usually exchanges, but yeah. What is private in Secret Network are the contract interactions. So anything that you do involving smart contracts, all those details are encrypted with the TEE, the trusted execution environments that you mentioned earlier. And so just to make sure, just so people realize that it's not like Monero where everything, absolutely everything is hidden. You can't see addresses, you can't see balances, you can't see amounts, where was sent to what. So that is only in Secret Network, only applies to smart contract interactions. So if you go and you click on, if you go to a Secret Network Explorer and you click on someone's random address, because everyone's addresses are visible on the network, you'll be able to see how much secret they have, and you'll be able to see which contracts they interacted with, but you won't be able to see what they did with that contract. So if you go to swap Secret Monero for Secret Ethereum on one of the AMMs, you'll be able to see that they interacted with that contract, but you won't be able to see what the interaction was. All of that information is hidden. It's a bit confusing, but did I kind of explain it?
I mean, it makes sense what you're saying, but my first thought is like, well, okay, if I interact with if they can see I interacted with the, Ethereum to Monero bridge or whatever, like they don't know what I did, but I mean, if I had 100 Monero in my wallet and then now I have 6 Ethereum in my wallet, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Well,
like,
they won't be able to. They wouldn't be able to see that you have how much Monero and how much Ethereum you have.
Okay, so they can't see token, or they can't see like the wrapped tokens. They can just see the
No.
balance of the secret coins that you have.
Yes, all the wrapped tokens. So there's wrapped Ethereum is secret Ethereum. They put secret in front of everything instead of wrapped.
Okay.
So they can't see your token balance for any of the wrapped tokens. Those are all completely private. So those balances do not show up on the blockchain.
Got it.
The only thing that's visible is which contract you interacted with and this unwrapped secret token, the native secret token.
Okay.
And they do the way that they've described this, where I've seen secret people talking before, is because they still want to remain compliant, compliant with what jurisdiction, or I guess just generally compliant, but still provide privacy for smart contracts and what you do on secret.
Gotcha.
And I think the best way to actually get understand is to actually just go to the Secret Blockchain Explorer and just click on one of the addresses, and then you'll be able to see what exactly is visible and what is not. Well, I guess you can't see what's not visible because it's not visible, but
I think this is the perfect structure, to be honest, because DeFi has to be private. I mean, otherwise there's, front running and all kinds of issues. And this is both compliant, like the way I see it, this is the financial services part, right? So you need to make sure, like, for example, in future, I see this evolving, like, let's say you're lending a mortgage. I mean, you need to make sure you verify that person without actually leaking their data. So it's the best of both worlds.
Right. And it does also fix the problem with front running that Ethereum has, because you go to Uniswap and someone can front run the trade that you're trying to do and then actually sell you. So you're trying to swap Ethereum for Bitcoin. Someone will submit that same trade, but with a higher gas fee because they can see it because it's transparent. So they submit it with a higher gas fee and do the trade before you, and then sell it back to you at a higher price. So that's front running, and that's not possible on Secret Network because that's a smart contract interaction and all that information is encrypted.
And if you did that in the traditional financial markets, I'm pretty sure you go to jail.
Yeah, probably.
So that's like, yeah, or at least in the US, like it's not good for a free market to be able to, be front run. You don't want that. Definitely a negative. Interesting. Okay, and so Stacking Monero said here in the chat that there's a community push for paying gas with secret, which is the wrapped secret, which would give you 100% privacy, because if they're saying, if you interact with that Ethereum to Monero bridge in our hypothetical, someone would be able to see that you pay the 0.2 secret gas fee. And so there's a push to use wrapped, or I keep calling it wrapped secret, but secretive secret.
Secret.
Yeah, secret, so that they wouldn't even be able to see gas, which it would help a little bit with the privacy. But it sounds like, I mean, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Chill, about wanting to be regulatorily, you know, have some
friendly.
You have some wiggle room there, because that you know makes it easier to grow and adoption, probably, where if the government's not breathing down your neck. At the same time, though, I just wonder if the trade-offs are long term going to be beneficial. Like if it makes it 10 years from now, like is that going to be like, are they going to figure out some way to like reveal more than what we all thought we would be revealing? I guess I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, the way I see it is, I want Monero to be completely anonymous, right? Because we don't want to reveal any sort of information. But when it comes to DeFi and services, the way I feel is, I think we can have like rock pools every 3 months, because that's like DNM market style. And it just wouldn't work. Like if the whole of the United States use DeFi, and all of a sudden we would have a rock pool and there would be millions of people complaining, that just wouldn't work, because they do have a regulatory oversight, and they have the right to go and complain to regulators, whereas someone who got rug pulled on the DNM market has nowhere to go. So I do see that financial services need some form of regulation, but the more technical, the better, right? So if we can, for example, verify things with zero knowledge proof or secret networks and different protocols, instead of trusting the data with the regulators and the government, then it's better to do it on our end, as opposed to allowing regulators to just come in and do whatever they want. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
And
no, go for it.
I was just going to mention about that there are also viewing keys, like in Monero. So if you do want to display or show or reveal, I should say, reveal what you have done on Secret Network, your any specific details of your account, those viewing keys are available. So that further goes into, like, if you need to comply with this taxes or a certain law or whatever, for whatever reason, you can reveal that information to certain parties that you choose.
Right. So yeah, so there's some built-in like compliance stuff, and which yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not against compliance just as a principle, because I think it makes it, it's more usable, and there's going to be people who want to be compliant, and so to give them that option makes sense. But privacy by default is absolutely the way to go. And then if you want to reduce your privacy at your own choice, then that's up to you, and I think you should have that right. I just wonder, it seems kind of, yeah, I just, you don't want to be too like, hey, look how compliant we're being, like we're good. we're the good guys here, like, don't regulate us. I feel like that approach, and I'm not saying that this is what Secret's doing, because I'm learning about it. That's why we're doing this stream, so that Jill and I can learn about this. So I really don't have a huge exposure to it yet, although I'm going to change that. I want to try this bridge, and definitely going to check this out when we're done here. But yeah, I mean, it's that balance. Everything is a balance. You got to balance the privacy preservation and people's really well-being and ability to remain anonymous and private, with not having rug pulls every day and everyone complaining and wanting to be able to have a usable system. So, but yeah, I mean, there should be accountability. I would prefer like community accountability, or technical verifiable trustlessness. But that's, there's always compromises with that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That would be my thought on it.
This is definitely the going in the right direction, Secret, because privacy is so important. And like I said before, 99.9%, like almost all projects are just completely take it for granted. Like there's a lot of projects in Ethereum actually trying to bring some sort of privacy. There's the Tornado Cache, there's some like Aztec and ZK rollups, but they're all like second layers, or you just like deposit them into this contract, and it's optional privacy is not the way to go. And the way Secret is doing it, where or not everything, but a lot is private by default, and then you choose to reveal what you want to reveal, is definitely makes the chain much more usable. And yeah, it's like I actually feel like using Secret. Like the NFTs is something that actually I'm kind of excited about. Like I said before, the NFTs on Ethereum, where I can't even show people, because then I'm doxing my entire wallet and everything that I've done before that. And you just need one link to your identity to retroactively reveal everything else you've ever done on a particular chain, even other addresses that you own. And yeah, Secret is definitely going the right direction, and it's pretty underrated in my opinion. So glad to see that there's something like what Secret is doing.
Yeah, right on.
I'm excited about the secret too. Like I love how the community is just thinking like, how can we make this like super private?
Yeah, the ethos of the community seems to definitely be moving in the project in the right direction. And that's, I mean, obviously as people in the community for Monero and different projects, I mean, I'm very bullish on projects with good communities. I would say like that's a real huge part of, I think, long-term success, and just, you know, having an enjoyable experience is having a good community, and seems like they're focused on the right things. So yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, back to your comment about the Ethereum stuff, I mean, you have to literally be perfect with your privacy or it's all exposed. Like one tiny mistake and then everything you've done is revealed, and it's really hard to be perfect. It's very, very hard to be perfect. But yeah, so without, I mean, we don't have to get super technical because I probably go over my head, but for the trusted execution environments, I know, can you talk, do you want to talk a little bit more about that? I'm getting a call, sorry you guys, very bad.
So the trusted execution environments, I'm not super technical, so I'm just going to provide my personal understanding of it. Is the trusted execution environment is a secure area on a processor, so like the CPU. So it's isolated from the rest of the OS and the rest of the system, the hardware, and it it protects the data and the computations that are done in that part of the processor. And so the trusted execution environment that Secret uses is Intel SGX. So this is their SGX is their trusted execution environment. So it's like a form of encryption, and it runs on Intel chips. So there are also drawbacks to that, because Intel technically could have a backdoor, I believe. So I don't think that's currently, like, it's not known. I don't think there is one, but it's also like you can never know.
Yeah, until there's some kind of leak about it, or it's used in like a public, you know, it's exploited in a public way, we would never really know, because they're manufacturing the chip, and that's all proprietary stuff.
Yeah, I do believe that. So the Intel SGX is proprietary, as far as I know. Maybe someone can correct me in the chat. But so in other words, if it's proprietary, it's not open source, then there could be a backdoor, or they could potentially install one in the future. So
yeah. And I mean, to be fair, there's not, I mean, I don't know. And yeah, again, we could go to the chat or the comments here after if somebody's rewatching this, but like, what would an alternative to that be? Because I mean, Intel saying, hey, we've got this trusted execution environment, it's encrypted, here's the black box. Okay, that sounds awesome. But if I wanted to do it the open source way, I mean, you almost have to have an open source CPU or something like that, which I don't, to my knowledge, doesn't really exist at the the mass production level where it's easy to get your hands on. So it's like, I don't know that there's a better alternative to it, but definitely want to realize that there is some risk there.
yeah, I think just doing smart contracts and privacy is just a really tricky thing, because I mean, the alternative would be to, I guess, you could have like ring signatures and, like the Monero formula, for example, but then you also have much larger transactions. I imagine if you're just encrypting things with this Intel XGS, the trusted execution environment, it's much more scalable, and that's what you want for something that's going to be a smart contract platform, because you're going to have potentially millions of transactions going through the network. If you just look at Ethereum, you can't run something like that on Monero. So Monero is simple in which is just basic transactions with no smart contract capability. You have you're sure on the code that there's no backdoor. You can audit it, and you can see or you can trust that it's working. Whereas the SGX is being encrypted with the proprietary encryption from Intel that lives on a chip, on a processor. So it's different ways of achieving it, but yeah.
I mean, the way I always look at it, unless you're like Seth Simmons, you probably the best level of privacy that you achieve is being private from hackers and the public and your crazy acts and those type of people. But you're never really truly private from like authorities, for example. In my mind, I mean, if you're really good at everything you do, then maybe. But as soon as you make a mistake, you're using something that has a backdoor, then so there are trade-offs, definitely. I wanted to ask your opinion on what do you think is fueling the growth? Is it the NFTs? Or is it just because Monero didn't really have like a smart contract market, and you're seeing it like, way, everybody's excited? And
the growth of what specifically?
The growth of people locking Monero on Secret Network.
Well, one thing is there are incentivized reward pools. So the AMMs, the decentralized exchanges built on Secret, they need liquidity. So in order to get people actually locking up liquidity into the pools to be able to trade them, they give rewards, and there've actually been the highest rewarding pools of the whole network. Let me see if they're actually up right now so I can see what the rewards are. But it was like between 100, there was like 5 different Monero pools, and the lowest one was like 100% APR, and then the highest one was like 260%. And they the reward, the APR goes down the more liquidity gets locked in. So once it reaches a certain amount of liquidity, then that's probably when you'll see a slowdown of of people bridging Monero, because until then, people will want to take advantage of those rewards, and so they'll continue to add liquidity until until whenever they want, really.
And do you see this like as a two-way sort of growth? Like, do you see this as beneficial for Monero as well? Like, will this influence the price over time as Secret Network is more and more adopted?
It's definitely good for Monero, because up until now, you could spend Monero or you just hold it in your wallet. You don't have DeFi. You don't have any other, you can't put it to work, basically, your Monero. And so this gives another use case for Monero holders. Now you can actually earn yields on it and participate in DeFi. It is on another platform, but it's still, you holding that gives you that option. And I think Monero is perfect for this use case. It's symbiotic with Secret, because they both offer privacy. So it, in my opinion, is the best collateral to work with when working with a privacy-centric DeFi. When you bridge, for example, Ethereum, that's not really private. You can, you send Ethereum to a certain address, and you can, because Ethereum is transparent, you can probably tell that that Ethereum was bridged to Secret. But Monero is private all the way through, from the bridging process through to getting onto Secret, and then all interactions that you use the Secret Monero on Secret is also kept private. And then if you want to come back out onto the main Monero chain is also private, because Monero and Secret are both private. So yeah, it's the best collateral, or the best asset really to use if you want to remain completely private while using DeFi. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, finish your thought.
And in terms of whether if it's gonna affect the price, I don't know, but you do have Monero that is technically not in circulation because it's locked up in liquidity pools. And in general, when you have more use cases for an asset, that equals potentially more users and potentially more value for that asset. So there's also people that will be not that they haven't been exposed to Monero before, but they are using Secret Network, and they see Monero with really good rewards for the liquidity pools. So that might get them interested in researching and actually acquiring some Monero, or trading some other asset for it and getting involved. And the whole symbiotic privacy, where you maintain your privacy all the way through, you can actually exit Secret back to Monero, and then use that Monero in a way that, well, no one even knows where it originated from. So I see Secret Network as also like an exchange, because you can have other assets converted to Monero and then exit the exchange, exit Secret back to Monero, and all the details, all your information remains private all the way through.
Well said, well said. And yeah, I think exactly what you were saying. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who are using Secret and maybe coming in through the Ethereum bridge, or I think they're talking about a Luna bridge, or whatever other blockchain ecosystem they're coming from. I think they're going to get into Secret, maybe because of the high yields, or Tarantino NFTs or whatever, and realize like, hey, if I was using Monero, this would all be completely private and no one would be able to see what I'm doing. Like, that's something I want. It's easier for me to maintain my my privacy with this, I have to imagine some percentage of those people will now get exposure to Monero and hopefully, start using it or will start using it. I don't know what the exact ratio will be, but I would imagine some of them would be. So like you said, I see it as a good thing, and obviously just purely economical, like you said, when there's less Monero in circulation and it's locked up, that tends to have a positive impact on the price. Not always, but it can have that. So yeah, definitely I see it as a good thing too. Question in the chat, and I don't know the answer to this one at all, but it says, doesn't Secret kind of incentivize rug pulls and scammers to operate there? Have there been any big scams so far on Secret? I'm not sure, John, why it would incentivize rug pulls more than other DeFi platforms, because I mean, Binance Chain has had plenty. I know, I mean, every chain has had them. I don't want to single out a single chain because everybody's had rug pulls, but I guess maybe it's the developers are more prone to being anonymous for Secret, so that would incentivize them to be shady. But I don't know of any big scams so far in Secret. I don't know if you guys do.
Well, in terms of the smart contract, the smart contracts are not private. I mean, the code. So if you don't trust that a smart contract is actually doing what it says it does, you can go and read the smart contract. But yeah, all the interactions with it on chain, yeah, are private. But I'm also not sure if that could incentivize. I mean, to me, rug pulls is when the developer of a certain project, like a certain token, will have a large percentage of own a large percentage of their tokens, and then just sell them all on the market and betray the token holders basically. And so yeah, I'm not sure I can answer that. I'm not sure how much more Secret would incentivize that or not.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's mostly on the developers, and the code is auditable, so it's, to me, it kind of seems the same risk as other smart contracts that you would be interacting with, how much people are using this, has it been audited, and did they find a backdoor in it? But yeah, but to answer your question, John, we don't know of any scams that have happened on Secret. There may have been some that we're just not aware of, but and it's also relatively new too. I mean, I think it's been growing quite quickly, but it's still pretty early. I mean, they just upgraded their mainnet and whatnot, so I don't want to cast any bad juju on it, but if it continues growing and anybody can, submit a smart contract, that will probably eventually be a scam if there hasn't been one already. But to our knowledge, there hasn't been any yet.
I actually view Secret Network as Wall Street compliant, because in my mind, the simple fact that they will be able to function as the current legacy system has huge potential. I mean, currently you don't know what Wall Street is doing. You don't see their trades. You don't, you have no access to that information. And I think that's going to be very appealing to these institutional investors doing, smart contracts and different things in the financial services as this gets more and more adopted.
For sure. So we're coming up on an hour here. I guess let's see here, any final thoughts? Anybody in the chat, if you have a last minute question, pop it in there. I feel like we did a pretty good job of looking at Secret kind of from the privacy perspective. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we didn't cover, with what other things that they're have on their roadmap and whatnot. But I mean, I think most of our interest is in, how private is this? How safe is this? What are the risks in it? And I feel like we did a pretty good job covering that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll turn it over to y'all. If you have any final thoughts, great. And if not, we can just wrap it.
Yeah, I just for fun. What's your prediction for how many Moneros will be locked next year, this time?
Oh,
Just make a
geez.
prediction.
Gaze into the crystal ball.
I mean, so the bridge has been up for like 3 months now, I guess, and there's 14,000. I don't know. I guess I would just extrapolate from that. Maybe there's like 50 to 75,000 Monero in there by next year. I mean, it could grow depending on if Monero is also doing well in price. That also brings more attention to it, and then more of those new holders want to also use their Monero, so maybe they start bridging to Secret so that they can earn yields. You know, there's a lot of variables. So I don't know. I'll say like probably I think near. I'll guess near 100,000. Let's see.
100,000. What about you, Matt?
Oh man. So I mean, yeah, like I mean, like you said, there's a lot of variables in that, and you know, if it just, I feel like there's going to be some kind of exploit or some kind of negative thing that will come out eventually. Just as this, if they are successful, there will be some kind of challenges, and just like how big that challenge is and how the community and the project deals with it will really inform, you know, how popular they get. If they mismanage it, then, you know, it could be less than what we have now, or, you know, if they really cruise through it and, you know, fix the issues, or, you know, whatever, then yeah, I mean, it could be 100,000, it could be 500,000. I think, I mean, with you talking about network effect and, you know, high yields, network effect plus privacy, that to me is like, what more do you really want? I mean, that's the best kind of DeFi option out there. And, you know, if it is truly, you know, private the way that they're claiming, then I would see a lot of people in Monero putting their Monero to work, like you said, untraceable. And yeah, I could see half a million Monero in there pretty easily, or maybe even more. But yeah, it just, yeah, what are the challenges, and comes down to the setbacks they face and how they deal with them, I think. So we have a question. Oh yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say, also depends what other potential new ways to use Monero on Secret there might be, because right now there's, like I said, the two AMMs, SecretSwap and SienaSwap, where they have liquidity pools. But I do know that at least Siena is also planning to have a lending service, so you could use Monero for borrowing and lending. And then there could be potentially other AMMs or other new projects that use Secret Monero in ways that haven't been announced or that we haven't thought of yet. So yeah, that also another variable to throw in there.
That's a hard question, Chill. All right, we got a very good question in the chat here. Marinella has asked, can you explain the special black glasses?
He's just cool.
Well, there's no explanation, just wearing glasses.
There you go. There you go. That's the answer. All right.
Untraceable definitely has style, not just in glasses, but when he showed his setup, yeah, you just colors and lights. And
it's really dark in here. I can barely see anything besides my screen. So.
No worries. No worries.
Well, right. You guys dodged that question very successfully. Both, hey, I see potential in a political career. What?
I said 500,000. He said 100,000.
Okay.
With a big asterisk, with the asterisks around them.
Matt, you're much more bullish, Matt.
I am. I get very excited, and then I get very excited right up until the rug gets pulled out, and then I get really sad and angry.
500,000 is a pretty large percentage, though.
Oh,
like Monero has fewer coins in circulation than Bitcoin, and the inflation rate is also significantly lower. So yeah, that 500,000, that's an ambitious goal.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it definitely is, and I think I mean, I guess in my mind, I'm just assuming like perfect execution, right? Like whatever challenges they face, they just get right through them. And, you know, the yields are still high. It's very private. There's no kind of like privacy hacking, but maybe, you know, some of these smart contracts are scammy or have a back door in them. I could see incredible growth, but yeah, that's
Look,
very optimistic. You are correct.
look, as Secret starts developing their NFT ecosystem, people make a lot of money from NFTs, and if they want to exit Secret Network with any of those gains, Monero is a pretty good option, because you probably, if you are concerned about your privacy, as I assume many people using these networks are, then and you make 100,000 millions of dollars buying, selling NFTs or whatever, and you're probably not going to go and exit back into Ethereum. I mean, you can, but then you don't have any of that privacy that you gained from using Secret Network. So Monero is a pretty good option if people want to exit out and use that Monero outside of Secret. So that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So definitely half a million. With that in mind.
Okay, so we'd see here. So, all right, this is going to be the last question here, and we're going to wrap it up. And this is a pretty tough one, but this is a great question, especially for us privacy nerds. But R1, I don't know how to. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize. Has asked, how can we debunk the notion that not sharing everything about our lives and finances doesn't make us money laundering terrorists? And then, you know, just would you show a used car salesman how much is in your wallet? Hell no, because they're gonna then that price of that car is going up, or you know, yeah, that's not. I have no interest in doing that, and I'll take a crack at it, and then Untraceable, and then Chill, you'll wrap it up. But I would say the privacy or not sharing everything about our lives is the way that I think about it, and kind of explain it to my family, because I'm trying to get them to like take their privacy more seriously. Is like, would you want someone following you around with a camera and a recorder and just logging everything you do every second of every day? Because that's effectively what's happening. Like there's a drone following you, filming you, recording you everywhere you go, that you have your smartphone, or that you're interacting with your computer. You know, if someone was doing that standing next to you in real life and recording all of that, that would be terrifying. Like if someone's just, I mean, that's some Big Brother, I mean, it's even worse than Big Brother shit. Like that's awful. And so, you know, there are some things that you can do to make it harder for them to spy on you. But at the end of the day, without the majority of people, you know, not wanting to be surveilled and understanding the risks of it, or the downsides to it, when you have all of those recordings of you, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of like high level change that I see. It's just going to be kind of these smaller pools of people who are like, you know, our privacy. But I think it's growing. I think people are becoming more aware of it as our data gets more exploited. And it's really, in my mind, about education. I mean, that's kind of my whole thing, is the more you know about the problem and the downsides, the more likely you are to take a stand on it, and, you know, maybe take some action on it. So yeah, education about the downsides of surveillance would be my answer to that question. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have any thoughts, please add them, and then we'll wrap up on that question.
Well, to me, privacy is just a basic human right. Like it's a requirement for freedom. If you are being watched all the time, you act differently. Privacy enables innovation and individuals to try things that they won't try if you're constantly being observed, for the fear that you'll do something wrong, or something that someone else, some organization or government dislikes, or that they will, you know, try to restrict you in some way, which does happen. So yeah, it's just a basic human right, and a really important one that is ignored by most people nowadays.
Yeah, we don't really understand the value until we lose it. But I do sincerely hope that the future is private and we will regain the digital privacy rights that we don't have at this very moment. But I just think we need to take it one step at a time. So these technological tools like SecretNetwork and Monero are taking us a baby step forward. We also need legislation that protects, because at the end of the day, human rights are protected by laws, and a lot of people forget that part, that currently there is no protection of our digital privacy.
Well said. Well said. That was awesome. Yeah, thank you, Untraceable, for joining us. This was very enlightening. I'm definitely going to go and try out the Secret Network once everything's back up, of course, which should be very soon. And yeah, that was great. I learned a lot. Loved having you on here. I'm sure we'll do it again. We just got to find a good topic, and we'll make it happen. And yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
Right,
Thanks
for
so
having me,
much.
guys.
Got it. All right, y'all. That's it for the stream. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Later. All right.